Phil, that looked on paper a very difficult game, but in the end you've won at a canter.
It was on paper, as you say. I don't know, there's something about the Curzon game at their place where it was a real battle and on a great surface. And I remember it was like an October night. It was a real tough gig, and we ended up winning the game 1-0. And if I remember rightly, Dave Wall was on the bench for them. And I'm thinking, if Dave Wall can't get in that team, and yet he's coming to Kidderminster stand blowing us away basically, there's something not right there, you know. But long story short, I remember whenever it's home or away, I always remember the first game, whether it was an easy game or not, whichever the case may be, and you've got to address that situation when you play them the next time round, especially when you play them away first. And I honestly thought it was going to be a tougher gig, but when we scored the first goal, that was so important. And it was, first goal in any game is important, but again, the first cross and it was the second cross, believe it or not. And it was only a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the game. And it was a great technique, the fantastic cross on the money. And Hemo, who literally had in my office about an hour and a half before the game, and just thought that maybe he'd come off the boil a wee bit, you know, maybe he just took his foot off the gas, and maybe he was looking at how many goals he scored, and sometimes you can get happy with that, you know, get relaxed with it. I need to reset the target, and I've always said it to players, press the reset button, you know, once you think you're there, or you've already made it, do it again, keep pressing that reset button, and Hemo did, and what a first goal. And then you get a half a sniff in your head that they could go on quite easily, when he gets a goal early doors, could quite easily go on and score a hat-trick. And lo and behold, he did. But again, it goes back to the captain making captain's decisions. Amari Morgan-Smith, for me, an unsung hero. Many times he's walked off that field of play, he's been, you know, vocally, or the noise levels at Agborough have been there for me to see and everybody else to see, that they want to carry him off the pitch because he puts his heart and soul into a performance. But the likes of Maz Kuya and Ashley Hemmons have been getting the benefit of that. And again, Hemo picks up the plaudits of match ball and man of the match. But Amari Morgan-Smith again he's wearing the shirt with pride, and what a captain! Great performance, and a great decision to give Hemo a chance of getting a hat-trick, and he put it away.
I was trying to get into your head towards the end of the first half, where you've got a goals lead. They've not looked dangerous at all, but you've got to go in there with your team 1-0 up. Just saying, perhaps they're going to get a sniff, and we need to step on it a bit. A little bit frustrating you didn't answer that first goal.
That's true. But it looked, I don't like the word comfortable as a manager. You don't want to ever be comfortable unless you're lying in your bed. I think the first 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes of the second half were nerve-wracking times. Not nerve-wracking in terms of they were peppering a goal. They had made changes at half-time. They brought on their leading goal scorer, which I was surprised that he wasn't playing from the start. And then they changed their system and went a little bit, not gung-ho, but they went for it a little bit more committed to going forward. And that in itself caused us a little bit of a problem. And then we got the second goal, and it's a little bit of breathing space, if you want to call it, but then they hit the post. And again, you've not the alarm bells, you know, I don't think the alarm bells were ever ringing, but sometimes when you haven't got that right mentality towards defending a clean sheet, the odd goal goes in and it's quickly followed by a second, and that could quite easily happen. But there's so many players at this football club, go-to players in my head, that have got that clean sheet mentality. The goalkeeper being one of them, you know, Kyle Morrison being another one, Rhys McNally, you know, like Keller Richards, probably the most unsung hero in the football club and in football. These are the people that you can rely on in situations when they get tight. And again, we relied on them, and we got the clean sheet as well.
And just a word about Hemo's second goal, because he obviously took you at your word, because he hit it from, 25, 30 yards?
Yeah. He's just saying his match ball, and that's his 4th match ball this season. He's only got 5 in his career. So that tells you exactly where he's at in his head. He's had a fabulous season, but it's not finished. With 3 games to go, and I need 3 more hat-tricks if I can get them. He knows the demands that we're putting on him, and he knows the standards that we're setting, and he's reaching them standards week in and week out. I just felt, the reason why I had a chat with him just before the game, I just thought maybe there might be something going on in his head that he's not prepared to share, and if he doesn't want to share, no problem. But as a manager, you've got to identify that, and I thought he'd maybe dropped off by his standards. That's the most important part, because his standards this year have been fantastic.
to Rushall on Friday. Now, you said you kind of look at the first game that you've played it against sides. Well, you won't have to look too far to get motivated by that one.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. A 1-0 win against Curzon Ashton, and I thought it was a tough game. A 1-0 defeat against Rushall. For me, in my head, I'm going straight to it now. It was never a 1-0 defeat, but it was. The fact of the matter is, it was a 1-0 defeat. I know the manager from his Bolton days, and we've loaned them a couple of players. They're not allowed to play. Do I want them to play? All of them things go through your mind. But one game at a time, as we keep saying, it's Good Friday. The moment in football where you're either looking at Christmas and the bank holiday weekends, or the New Year, and then you're looking at the Easter period, and they're the back-to-back games where you go, if you can get 6 points from the two of them, now you've got a chance. But there's so much to say about the 2 games and the 6 points. But I'll go back to that one game at a time. It's really served us well of late, and it ain't going past Rushall Olympic, and that's what we're focused. Our whole focus now as a group of players is all about that now.
Thank you.
Just a thought for the opening goal, the timing of it and the atmosphere inside Agra. I mean, when we promoted from this division a couple of years ago, we went on a run of scoring inside the first few minutes of games. And I was reminded of that inside the first minute because it was bouncing inside.
Yeah.
So I actually thought, well, there could be a goal in this early, and it just played a big part in the day, didn't it?
I think the other part of it, Matty, is that people come here and they go, all right, just turn them round. That's it. You'll not get anything if they're not tackling their own fans in the second half. We attacked them in the first half and got it in the first minute. But me being in the stand, for 3 yellow cards, sampled it first hand. It was really good, the atmosphere. You don't sometimes feel it. It's a real positive group of people that come in the stadium, and I don't think necessarily they look at us and go on and play good football and we'll get off our seats. I think they're very intelligent, very articulate, very understanding of how we're trying to play it. And I think when the first goal went in, it relaxed everybody and got them into actually supporting us. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? They pay the money to come through the turnstile, that's supporting itself. But for me, we like to hear the noise. We like to get them off their seats, and we like to get them excited. And I think the opening goal certainly got me excited. What a great ball in, and what a great finish, and what a start to a game. And now that one's to bed, onwards and upwards towards Good Friday.